What? Bro.
Welcome to the Build on Beauty podcast, where beauty is born skin deep. Now, here's your host, author, speaker, entrepreneur, Cornell Jermaine.
Thank you for joining me. I have a special guest with me. He is a #1 best-selling author and speaker, a coach on money, relationships, and education, and a Ramsey personality. Please help me welcome, on the subject of money moves for millennials, my guest, Anthony Oneal. Anthony, how you doing, sir?
Man, Cornell, man, I'm doing good today, man. Pray the same as for you. Thanks so much for having me on the podcast, bro.
No worries. Your relationship with money started off rather rough. You went to college with a full scholarship, ready and to have at it, and ended up not even a year later, $20,000 in debt. Talk to us about that relationship and how it got started.
Well, to start it off correctly, man, I was blessed and fortunate enough to raise up with 4 loving parents. So I have 2 biological parents and 2 step parents. And there were like 2 things that we really talked about a lot: law and sex. But they never had a conversation about money. Okay, hey, you're going to abstain until you're married, and here's what you do when it comes to law. And so when I graduated high school, I knew everything from a spiritual perspective. I knew everything from abstaining, and I knew everything from how to deal with law, but not how to deal with life. So when I walk into the college campus, man, I see nothing but, young people, beautiful ladies, because I couldn't go out on dates. I couldn't go to dances. I couldn't go to the mall. I couldn't see PG-13 or rated R movies. I was in a very sheltered spiritual home. So, when I get a taste of freedom, it's like, yo, let's go.
Yeah.
And so, I'm trying to impress the ladies. I'm trying to impress the guys. I'm trying to join a fraternity. I'm trying to be this man that I thought I needed to be, not really understanding what I really needed to become and who I needed to become. And so within a matter of 6 months of me being in college, I put myself in about $35,000 worth of debt, $15,000 in credit card debt, $10,000 in furniture debt, then another $10,000 in student loans when I didn't even need them.
We're talking about money moves for millennials. Give us 3, I guess, major money moves that millennials need to concern themselves with.
Well, before we jump on the practical, let me give you two mental things, because I can teach the practical money, but I do believe that we have to address some mental things. Number 1, you got to have a vision. You got to know exactly where you're going. Where there is a vision, that's where people perish. So before you can do anything with your money, before you can do anything, sit down. I mean this, sit down and write down your vision. What are your goals? Where are you going? What are the daily habits you need to do today to get to where you want to go? And I always say that, do you have discipline? One of my friends says discipline is the bridge between who you are now to who you want to be and where you want to be tomorrow. And discipline is going to make you have vision. So get a clear vision of where you want to go. And then 2, I want you to assess your relationships. Assess who are you connected to, because where you're going, some of the peers that came with you to where you are today may not be the relationships you need to move forward. You need to be around people who can see your vision and y'all work together. Stop getting around people who you're only gossiping with, who you're doing brunch with, who you're having wine with. Get around people who you can invest with, who you can get out of debt with, who you can build wealth with. So those are 2 main things that I say, get a vision, surround yourself with healthy people. And then once you do that, the practical stuff, man, I always say, it's the 7 baby steps that Dave Ramsey and myself teach. And very quickly for you and your audience here, the first 3 are the most important. Number 1, set aside $1,000 emergency fund. And here's the reason why, Cornell, because the average person, nearly 42% of the people in America cannot afford a $400 emergency. So if something came up right now, they couldn't pay that cash. Like, they have to go to a credit card. They got to borrow some money. And so I'm saying set aside $1,000. Then after that, get out of debt, excluding your mortgage, and make sure that you're using a debt snowball. You line up all your debt from smallest to largest, make your minimum payments on all of it. Any extra income you have coming in from your side hustle or from an extra job, you put it all in that first one, then you work your way up. And here's why you need to get out of debt. because the average millennial watcher right now is going to be in between $35,000 on the low end with student loans to all the way up to maybe $300,000 in student loans. The reason why young people are not getting their dream careers, they're not getting married, they're not having kids, is because they're in debt. And a lot of it is because of student loans. And so I want you to get out of debt so that way you can have your freedom back. And if you can do that now, man, there's so much joy and peace waiting for you on the other side of that. So I want you to get out of debt. And number 3, set aside 3 to 6 months of expenses. But that's just going through this pandemic. I think people will understand why I say make sure you have some reserves. So those are the main 3 things. And the first 3 things I would focus on if you are a millennial listening to the show.
Wow, so good. I need to just put it out there that I am a Financial Peace University graduate, 5 years now. So just to our listeners, it is a very necessary course for just the average person. You know, I know many people think, oh, I don't really want to be a millionaire, but I'm telling you, if you just want to work the average job 9 to 5, if that's your goal, it's still a necessary course, and it will benefit you. It really will. We have to go to a post that you made recently about 10 money traps to avoid. And it was interesting. Many of them listed there we had heard before, you know, like car leasing, student loan debt. But there was one that was like, to me, like, oh, wow, I hadn't thought about that. And I want to get your commentary on that. That was surprise contest winnings. How is that a money trap? It looks like if I won something, it's mine, right? How is that a money trap?
Man, if you really want something, man, they'll just call you and say, here's your check. We're sending it today. You know, when I released that video, I actually was a part of one of that. It was actually a scam. I won a trip. They said I won a trip to Hawaii. And to get this reward, I had to spend $599 to activate the travel. And so when I started doing some research, I found out what this company is doing is charging people $599. And then as soon as you do that, they're gone. So there are a lot of companies out there who are trying to scam you, just get your money. You just got to be aware. If it's a true prize, man, it's going to be a true prize. But if you have to pay anything for it, that's something you want to avoid. Okay. Now
I understand. I get it. Let's talk about your book, Destroy Your Student Loan Debt, the step-by-step plan to pay off your student loans faster. Give us some insight into that book and what readers can expect.
Yeah, so it's not really a book. I want to make sure we're clear on that one because I don't want people to get all excited. Then they get it in the mail and it's like, well, what in the world's going on? I'm calling this a quick read. It's 64 pages long. It'll take you about an hour and a half to read it. Literally, I read slow and it takes me about an hour, 45 minutes. Or you can get the audio, listen to it within about 38 minutes. And simply all it is a deep dive into baby step 2, which is what we just talked about, paying off your debt, doing the debt snowball. But within inside of this particular book, I'm also breaking down, my thoughts on student loan forgiveness. I am not a huge fan of it. And I literally break down why I'm not a huge fan of it. So get the book and you'll see my thoughts and my commentary there. But then also, I'm always asked, like, hey, should I refi my student loans? The majority of times I'm saying no, but then there are a lot of times I am saying yes. So I walk through the process on, hey, here's why. If you can answer yes to all of these questions, yes, you are a great candidate to refi your student loans. And if you are, then I want you to go to this company because I trust the credibility and the reputation of this particular company. But then I'm also asking the average question, the most frequently asked questions that I'm asked around student loans. But I'm really breaking it down. How do you really deep dive and get into your student loans and how you get rid of them? Because right now, one of my YouTube channel, interviewed a lady. She took out $60,000 in student loans, went back to pay them, and she ended up paying back $90,000 in student loans. We did the math. If she would have took that $30,000, and just let that sit in a Roth IRA for 30 years, she'll be right around $500,000 if she never put nothing else into it. So she gave the government money. She robbed from her future and paid back interest that she could have been paying to herself.
Wow.
So this is why I'm so passionate about this message when it comes to this getting out of debt, destroying your student loan debt, because there's so much that we're just giving away, and we're taking away from our future. And so this is a great quick read. It's $10. They can go to anthonyoneal.com. Check it out from there. The audio version is a little bit cheaper as well. So it's a great, I mean, if you have an hour drive somewhere, man, get the audio version, download it and listen.
Wow. You've helped so many, and I know you've seen many success stories in your work. I'm curious, what work have you done, or individuals, families have you helped that has made you most proud thus far?
My sister and brother-in-law.
Wow.
When we see so many success stories around here. You go to my YouTube channel, you're seeing young millennials, African-American, who are paying off debt left and right, coming from, I have another video dropping here in a few days, a young lady from Uganda. Her mom and dad moved from Uganda just so she can have a better life. And she paid off all this debt, nearly $100,000 worth of debt in 3 years, making $60,000 a year. I mean, this young lady was sleeping on the couch, sleeping on the floor some nights in her own apartment because she didn't want to buy furniture. She's like, if I'm gonna spend $600 on the bed, I'm gonna put that towards my debt. And now she's gonna be debt free by 30, and she'll be able to do what she want to do and get married with her boyfriend. So we are seeing so many stories, and I've actually, not myself, but our company here has actually come up with something called, we're a fan of our fans. We're a fan of these people getting out there working. But probably the story that hit me the most is my little sister. My little sister is married to a big YouTube star. His name is Glenn Henry. He's best known as Belief in Fatherhood. And they have 4 amazing children. I have 3 nephews and 1 niece. And she had a lot of debt when it came to student loan debt. He has some debt, and they paid off a lot of money. But to see my sister become debt-free by 30 and then be the first person in our house to actually purchase a home. My mom and dad rented the same house for 15 years because they didn't have the capital and the cash to go out there and purchase a home. And they just rented a good position. So to see her get out of debt, have kids, have family, and be the first person in my family to be a homeowner. And then now they have such a big brand that they are helping men learn how to be better fathers and to be stay-at-home fathers at that, because her husband is a stay-at-home father. It's just been an amazing story. But there are so many great things that we've seen. But to see my family getting it, it brings tears to my eyes sometimes, because that we're all playing a role in leaving.
Yeah, that is awesome. For our listeners, does the Ramsey Group or organization offer personal service? I know they have Financial Peace University, but can someone call and say, hey, I want help with my personal finances, and sit down with an advisor? How does that work?
Yeah. So we have some financial coaches here. We have it on every dollar side. So let's say if you want to learn how to budget better, we have some budgeting coaches. We also have some financial small time coaches here. But when it comes to that, if you really want to learn how to invest, we definitely have this thing called SmartVestor Pro. And then also there are some deep dive financial advisors out there that we've actually trained, come through our organization, and they're all across the world. So if they go to daveramsey.com, they'll be able to sign up for a budgeting coach. We have that here. We have some financial coaches here as well. But if you're looking to invest, I highly recommend SmartVestor Pro. They'll find a pro in your area that has been thoroughly vetted by Dave and our team here. And it'll be an amazing opportunity for you to really gain a lot of interest, because now you have a professional who's going to be advising you on what to do and how to build your wealth.
Very good. Before we get ready to wrap, I've got to ask, we have an opportunity here to help so many people financially get their money right, get their wealth right, build their legacy. But beyond that, speak to the mindset, because you and I both know, being a graduate of Financial Peace University, that it begins with the mindset. What mindset does our millennial need to have in order to make not only the right moves with money, but with life?
Yeah. Very quickly, I will say this. The caliber of your future will be determined by the choices you make today. The choices that you make today will impact your 60, 70, 80-year-old self. It is our responsibility to our younger person's responsibility to take care of our older person. And so when it comes to your choices and your decisions today, think about your future 80-year-old self. Will you still have to work? Will you be stressed? Will you be struggling? Will you be regretting the decisions you made today in 2020? And so don't worry about what we see other people doing. And I'll be transparent with you. Sometimes I have to mute people on Instagram because I'll see their success. I'll see everything that's going on with them, and it will kind of make me want to, like, yo, I need to go do that. Well, no, I need to do what I need to do. I don't need to do anything because I see Cornell winning. And no, I need to stay in my lane. And when it's my time, I will win. Comparison, Rachel Cruz says, is just horrible. It steals joy, and comparison leads to more debt. And so if you really want to be wealthy, change your mindset, change your money mindset. Living way below your means is the first thing you need to do. Okay. You don't need every Gucci bag. You don't need to get your hair done every single week, ladies. Okay. I know some of them looking at me right now, probably like, what? Yes, I do. You don't have to have the latest and the greatest stuff. I was making good money for about 3-4 years before I built my home, but I wanted to make sure that I had a foundation. I was driving my car that I still drive every single day now. I was driving that for years. I just bought one of my dream cars about a month ago because I wanted to make sure that, one, I can afford it twice, and two, when I bought that car, I wasn't hurting. I bought the car about 2 weeks before this pandemic hit and everything shuts down. And everyone's like, man, I know you regret doing that, huh? I was like, no, I'm good. Because I did it right. I didn't rush to impress you and to impress Instagram and to impress my friends. I did it because that's what I wanted. And so just remember, the choices you made today will impact your future. And I promise you, if you make the right choices, all your dreams will come to pass. I want a Bentley one day. But that's down the road. I'm gonna pay cash for it. I want a big house. I want a big pool in my backyard. It's coming. I'm just gonna do it at the right time and when I can afford it, and it doesn't impact, and my dreams do not impact my future family's life.
Wow. Well said. Well said. Well, we're getting ready to wrap, but before we go, I want to play a quick game with you. It's called My 5 Favorites. Okay. I'll give you 2 options, and you just tell me which one is your favorite out of the 2. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. Music or movies?
Movies.
Deadlifts or squats?
Squats.
Apple or Android?
Apple, man. Android. What? You can't even be on my team.
You say I should have known better. Kool-Aid or sweet tea?
Ooh, I can't choose, bro. I grew up on Kool-Aid, but now sweet. Okay, I can choose because I don't like sweet tea by itself. If it's an Arnold Palmer, I can't choose. But Kool-Aid, bro, grape or red.
All right. I gotta go. All right, last one. Sunday morning or Saturday night? See, it depends on your mood.
Yes. Sunday morning, I'm getting ready to go to church. Saturday night, I'm enjoying, if I got a young lady, I'm out, we having a good time. So, man, both of those are just as good.
Okay. All right. I take it.
Both of them,
I take it. Well, Anthony,
Saturday night. Which one are you choosing?
Look,
See? You want to ask me the same question. Look at you, man.
This week, I'm going to choose Sunday morning. I think, because I'm in quarantine.
Yeah, you're right, man. All of us are loving Sunday morning right now. We get to wake up and have church in our beds on our couch. So we good.
Right. Amazing. Well, Anthony, I appreciate you joining me. Tell our listeners how they can connect, get the book, and all that good stuff.
Man, you can go to my website, anthonyoneal.com. I am most active over at IG and YouTube. You can go on both of them at Anthony Oneal on both YouTube and IG. Look for the blue check mark. There are several fake accounts out there. God bless them. But if you long as you see the blue check mark, you can rock with me. So please come over there. I'm dropping wisdom and some gems every single day on how you can build your wealth and build healthy relationships. And I would love to get your feedback on what I'm doing.
Anthony, I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, bro. I got to rush downtown now for another video shoot, man. So
no problem. Much success to you.
All right, now.
Well, this has been the Build on Beauty podcast, where beauty is born skin deep. I'm your host, Cornell Jermaine. Until next time, let your soul be made whole. Take care.
Thank you for listening to the Build on Beauty podcast. For more information about our host, please visit cornelljermaine.com.